Well, this is just your weekly reminder that we post every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for the full visuals. You can now follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Nothing But Controversy. We also have a new YouTube page called NBC Clips where we post some of our shorter content. And if you want a link to all of our social medias, go to our Instagram bio and click that link.
This is Nothing But Controversy. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Nothing But Controversy with Matt, Dawson, Cam, and Shaner.
Well, what's up, guys? And welcome to episode 20 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. This is our 20th episode. Big deal. And guess what? It's draft week, which makes sense because it's our draft special. Who's excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited.
First off,
very excited.
Yeah, first off, we got Question of the Week. Then we have a new segment called In Your Dreams. What's that? I don't know. Then we have our bold prediction of the week. Then we have our full first-round mock drafts. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Before we go, can we just talk about how Cam's looking great in that Landon Collins New York Giants?
Yeah. Unbelievable. We got top 5, then we got lock of the week. Cameron, thank you for wearing that jersey. For those who didn't watch our previous podcast, Cam lost a bet because we all had a little challenge for March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament. Shane won, Cam lost, which means Cam has to wear memorabilia of the winner's favorite team, which is the New York Giants.
I know everyone is happy to see this. It's very disappointed. I mean, I'm very disappointed. I'm still a man of my word. I lost the challenge, the bracket challenge. Fair play to everyone, but really sucks. Kind of hurts wearing this. Can't wait to take it off. But I do it for the fans.
Can't wait for you to take it off either. Great day to be a winner.
Yeah, and speaking of clothing, look at this sweater. Brand new, Nothing But Controversy merchandise, available TBD.
TBD. Not to you guys. Not yet.
Yeah, not to you yet. But we'll figure it
Exclusive.
out. But trust me, when we make it available to the public, you guys will be the first to know. Anyways, we are now officially 136 days away from the beginning of the 2021 NFL regular season and 3 days away from the NFL draft. Oh my goodness. Literally all of our podcast. The entire time we've been alive, it's been leading up to this episode. So let's get excited and let's get into our question of the week. All right. So basically all of our segments are going to be about the draft this week, which makes sense. So our question of the week about the draft, who in this draft do you think has the best chance at becoming a future Hall of Famer? I will go first. And I would just like to say, shout out to Kyle Pitts because it was very hard not to pick you. Because I do think that you are the best non-quarterback prospect in this draft. I don't think it's close. But that being said, I am aware that the Hall of Fame is loaded with quarterbacks. So if I'm going to pick someone, it's probably going to be the best quarterback prospect maybe ever since I've been alive. So, Trevor Lawrence, you are my pick. He has done nothing but win since high school. Who knows? Maybe he'll bring a winning culture to Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
He got a new head coach, whatever. Maybe he'll change that franchise.
No.
And if he could get surrounded by the right system and weapons, he could definitely make a case for the Hall of Fame if he wins a couple titles.
Let me get one thing straight. I don't think it is humanly possible. They could put Jesus on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think it's possible to bring a winning culture to Jacksonville. Just like it's not possible for the Houston Texans to have an averagely run organization. It's just not possible.
I don't know why you're saying that. They were literally like a quarter
In the
away
AFC Championship once,
They were literally
yes.
Yeah, but that's like 2 years ago.
But that's not culture.
Now they have the number 1 overall pick. In the draft.
Look at the year after even.
But that's not a winning culture.
Who was their quarterback? Blake Bortles?
But that's not a winning culture. That's making a run. A winning
Yeah,
culture is doing it and not be having people like, oh shit, the Jags are in the AFC
Okay,
Championship.
but think about it. They did it once with Blake Bortles as quarterback. Now that they're going to have the best prospect.
Look at their defense that they had that year too.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say they traded every other good player they had on their roster except Miles Jack. Everyone else is gone.
Anyways, hats off to Trevor Lawrence, but the real correct answer for this is Kyle Pitts. The main reason being, I have no doubt that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a fantastic career. No doubts whatsoever. But I feel like the standard or the expectations for a quarterback, especially for a first overall quarterback with this much hype, are going to be that much higher than a tight end to get into the Hall of Fame, right? You can see quarterbacks become Pro Bowlers, become MVPs, whatnot, and still have to make a fight for a case in the Hall of Fame. But with tight ends, you can just be a consistently great tight end and be recognized as one of the greats, because not that the tight end is a new position, but it's just like it's a forever evolving position. So like again, guys like Tony Gonzalez, Gronk, Travis Kelce, obviously insane players, insane athletes, but there's not much competition for them to get into the Hall of Fame either way. So they'll go down as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, even if they don't have these amazing years like a quarterback would need to get into the Hall.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. It was a little hard to say it was going to be Kyle Pitts just because of the tight end culture in the NFL right now. I mean, you have Kittle, Kelce, those guys, like changing the game for tight ends, looking like they're going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, especially with guys like Gronk too. You talk about Tony Gonzalez, but where I have Kyle Pitts going, little preview. I won't say it right away, but where he's going, I think gives him a great opportunity to have a successful young career. We'll see what happens after that, but I like his chances. And just looking at my board right now, he definitely, no doubt, has the best chance.
This has been the easiest question of the week that we have ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, Trevor Lawrence may go number 1 overall, but Kyle Pitts is the best player in this draft. He is the best player in this draft.
I know I just said my answer, but I don't agree with that.
That's cap.
He is the best player. And he is, I've said this before, he's a 6'6" unicorn. He runs a 4.4. There's no one in the league that's going to cover him. He has all the physical talent to be a top 3 tight end of all time. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I know you're really excited about this guy, but there's not a chance in hell that he's a better prospect and better player than Trevor Lawrence is. First of all, because the quarterback is maybe the most important position in sports, and Trevor Lawrence just happens to be that good at it. I can't believe you just said that, honestly.
I said what I said.
All right. There you go. Question of the week. First segment down. Let's go to our second segment, and it's a brand new one at that. A little segment we like to call In Your Dreams. So basically what this little segment about is I'm going to ask a little question here, and basically meaning like this is only going to happen in your dreams.
In your dreams.
So a lot of this is going to be hypothetical, but the question this week for In Your Dreams is, who is your dream draft pick for your team or your dream scenario. Let's say, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My dream pick would be, I'm a Saints fan, would be Caleb Farley dropping to 28. Okay? In my opinion, a very close third best corner in this draft, just after J.C. Horn, in my opinion.
I agree.
Him dropping to 28 would be hallelujah, okay? That's my dream scenario. My dream reality scenario is a guy like Greg Newsome II fall into 28, which I could see happening. Don't see it happening, but that would be nice too.
So my dream, in your dream scenario, Matt, you didn't dream big enough. That's not a big enough dream. My big dream is that the Colts trade up to number 4 from the Falcons. I don't know for what or for who, and they take Kyle Pitts. Give Carson Wentz a disgusting weapon like Kyle Pitts to go with T.Y. Hilton, Zach Pascal, and Michael Pittman Jr., along with a top 5 or 6 running back duo in the NFL. My God. My realistic dream scenario, and this may be foreshadowing a little bit, but I really, really would hope that Caleb Farley falls to the Colts at 21. Because if he's there at 21, Matt, I'm sorry to crush your dreams. I don't see him getting past the Colts and some of the other teams after. But those are my dreams. We'll see. I would go crazy. Chris Ballard, don't get me wrong, will never, ever trade up in his life. But, oh, my God, if I heard it ding, 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 and then announced that the Colts traded for the number 4 pick, I would lose my mind.
You just butchered that sound.
Oh, whatever.
I do it better.
Okay, so my dream scenario is I just wish the Eagles never traded from 6, and then that Pitts or Chase is available there. So dream scenario, Eagles are still picking at 6. Something happens with the quarterback carousel. The Eagles get Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase at 6. It's a pipe dream at this point. I don't hate the trade. The Eagles have the most picks in the draft of any team, so might see some movement there. And we'll see what they do with 12. But my dream was that I had Jamar Chase on my mind right that day when we were all talking about when the Niners traded, and then I was like, oh, now we're in good shape. And then the Eagles traded back and crushed my dreams a bit. But yeah, that's my pipe dream.
So it's Kyle Pitts. There's nothing more to say. Florida boy in the Big Apple, baby. Kyle Pitts to the Giants. For that to happen, Dave Gettleman's not trading up. So I need like a Laramie Tunsil video to come out right before the draft, so Kyle Pitts can fall to 11.
You know what? I guess I kind of took this segment wrong, but you know what? In my dreams, Pat Surtain goes to the Saints or like
exactly.
Devonta Smith.
That's dreaming, baby.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but in my dreams. Anyways, that does it for In Your Dreams. Little short segment. Here we go to another short segment, one that we do every week, and that is our bold prediction of the week. So, of course, we're doing bold predictions for the draft. My bold prediction, it does foreshadow into my mock draft, but my bold prediction is that the Washington football team will trade into the top 10 and take a quarterback.
Ooh.
Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot. My bold prediction of the week is also going to foreshadow this, is that Mac Jones, not only does he fall out of the top 3 or 4, he also falls out of the top 15 in this draft. The Pats pass on Mac Jones.
Oh, I think, look, maybe we say this every year that the draft is super unpredictable, but this year, like, to me, I mean, I've made mock drafts, like, just personally the last couple of years, and I feel like at least throughout the draft, there's some spots where you know where teams are going. This year, like, literally outside the top, I could have made 7 mock drafts that all look completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I did end up making a couple, but my bold prediction this year, it's going to be crazy on Thursday night. Maybe one will come earlier than that, but my bold prediction is that there will be minimum 3 trades between now and the draft and the first round.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting a little special from Shane here. I have 2 bold predictions because I couldn't narrow it down to one. The first one, for the first time in his 9 drafts as a general manager, Dave Gettleman will trade down. It is something we never thought we would see, but this week it happens. Number 2, Theodore Edmund Bridgewater Jr., also known as Teddy B, will be a Denver Bronco by the end of day 3.
Ooh.
All right. So ever since we started this podcast, it's because we were talking about Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah.
This is why we started Nothing But Controversy, is because we started talking about Trevor Lawrence and we were screaming at each other for about 2 to 3 hours straight, not getting to a point, and we said, you know what? It's about time we start talking about sports. All of this has led up to this moment.
Episode 20, baby.
Episode 20 and our individual Round 1 2021 NFL mock drafts. Here we go.
Oh, man. Matt, do you want me to roll the draft sound?
Wait, let me just say it first, okay?
All right.
This is the best sound in sports. Din, 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 din. Din, 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 din. I love that. All right, roll it.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft.
Oh, I love that freaking sound. All right. With the first pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. Easiest pick of my life.
With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. Easy money. I hope there's no debate on this one.
Yeah, ditto. Jags are taking Trev. This has been like the easiest. There's no doubt. It's just, nothing else to say. He's the best quarterback prospect that we've seen in a while. So, easy pick.
Trevor Lawrence at 1 might be the biggest lock of the century. So I got Trevor at 1.
All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're each going to go through our pick, and then we're going to talk about it, but we don't really need to talk about this one because there's not much to talk about. Trevor Lawrence has been the lock for number 1 ever since he came out of high school.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's never going to change. If he drops to 2, the whole NFL is going to blow up.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard Tanner Marsh last week in our episode with him, but he literally said if Trevor Lawrence declared in his freshman year, he would have been the first overall pick. If he declared in his sophomore year, he would have been the first overall pick. He declared this year, he's the first overall pick. It was never a doubt, which is crazy because obviously some guys get to college, they fall off a bit, but it was literally never a doubt for this guy.
Mm-hmm. So just before we move on, Adam Schefter just tweeted that apparently John Lynch, general manager for the San Francisco 49ers, said that the 49ers have attended 176 college games and practices, conducted 400 Zoom calls, interviewed 600 players, and attended 128 separate pro days to come to the decisions that they will make this week. Even though Ian Rappaport yesterday tweeted that it's now between Trey Lance and Mac Jones at 3. But anyways, with the second pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
I also have the same. Zach Wilson, QB, BYU.
Yeah, another pretty big. This Trevor Lawrence is 100%. Zach Wilson is 99.9%. I love the kid. Been watching him since for 2 years now. He's a stud. I hope he pans out. I do understand the concerns, but turn on the tape. He's electric. In the right system, he'll be good. So, anyways,
all I know is of all the quarterbacks. Sorry,
Sorry.
I'll let Shane go. No. I was gonna say something.
Well, maybe the worst kept secret in sports right now is that they're going quarterback, and it's got to be Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I think I don't know who it was exactly, but Zach Wilson's NFL pro at QB comp is Patrick Mahomes. I think that's a bit exaggerated, obviously, because no one's going to come out and be Patrick Mahomes, but it's not a bad comp to have, considering, spoiler, Mac Jones's is Andy Dalton.
To me, the market is going to be the biggest issue for him. And if he doesn't have an offense that will keep up to his pace, the media is going to get all over him, and it's going to be a bad story like Sam Darnold. But I'm hoping he can rally the troops. They get him some protection, and then.
Yeah, because he was at BYU, which is like a little religious school. I hope he can take the New York media here.
So he's actually from Utah, and I don't know if his dad played for Utah, but his family they're huge Utah fans.
Okay.
So he made the decision to go to BYU. Of course, they're rivals. They play every year. They're in-state rivals, which is obviously a big deal. And his mom talked. I remember the first game I ever watched his mom got interviewed, and she was like, we weren't sure, and then he chose BYU, and we supported it. And he had a pretty good year that year, but no one was really talking about him. That was before this past year. And then he blew up this year, obviously. So
yeah. Shout out to Zach Wilson.
I don't really have anything to add. Honestly, if I was the Jets, I know this might sound crazy, but I think that Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this draft. I don't think it's Zach Wilson, but I guess I agree with Dawson though. He does have the most upside, but we'll see. You never know. He might end up being fucking absolutely electric. You never know.
I think my only issue is it's the Jets. Like that, they haven't shown us anything the last I don't know how many years, but I do think he's a game changer. Honestly, I truly believe that. I've watched a lot of Zach Wilson. I really love his game. I hope he pans out.
All right. Are you good to move on, Shane, or do you want to say
I
something?
mean, the only thing I have to say is imagine trading up to number 3 to draft Andy Dalton.
All right. Speaking of pick number 3, this
Yeah.
is where I think we can start separating a bit, which
Yeah.
I'm excited about.
All right. So before we get to number 3, I just want to say how the 49ers ended up getting to this pick.
Yep.
It started off with Houston 2 years ago, year and a half ago, trading for Laramie Tunsil, a tackle from Miami, and trading a whole shit bunch of picks, and Miami acquiring their pick at number 3. And then a couple weeks ago, they traded it to San Francisco traded up from 12 to get the number 3 pick.
Yeah.
Okay. With the intentions of what we imagine to be drafting a
Taking
quarterback.
a quarterback.
Okay. So with the 3rd pick of the 2021 NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. Let me say what I'm going to say after you guys say your picks.
Okay. So at 3, I don't have the 49ers taking what's his name? Andy Dalton. No, Mac Jones, sorry. I have the San Francisco 49ers, as Matt said, taking the 2nd best quarterback in this class, Justin Fields. I don't care that he went to Ohio. I don't care how Ohio State quarterbacks pan out. How great are fucking Alabama quarterbacks? Like, Justin Fields is the 2nd best quarterback in this class. He's had 2 unbelievable pro days. I don't understand what more this guy has to do to earn his respect. So I have the San Francisco 49ers taking Justin Fields. And I'll expand on it a little bit later.
I still think Zach Wilson has a case for being the 2nd best prospect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put Fields at 2, at 3 though. With that being said, look, I know there's all this we know that the 9 it technically or supposedly between Mac Jones and Trey Lance. I'm a man of integrity. I do believe this is a smokescreen. Justin Fields is their pick at number 3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3, Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota.
Whoa.
And here is why.
Guys, we're supposed to go through them and then we're supposed to all talk. Fuck, I didn't get
Went through them. We did go through them. The reason
Pick speaks for itself. I'm sorry.
The reason why I think is because Justin Fields can play right now. All right, Justin Fields can come in and he could be a starter day 1. Trey Lance cannot. Okay? They have a quarterback right now. He could sit there behind Jimmy G. I'm not saying Jimmy G is exactly the greatest mentor in NFL history, but he could sit there, learn the offense, come in year 2 like Pat Mahomes did. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to be Pat Mahomes, but start year 2. And Trey Lance is more of a project and needs to sit, and I think he fits that offense perfectly.
Okay, so once again, this mock draft is not what I would do. This mock draft is what I think is going to happen. Okay? So when a guy like Ian Rappaport, maybe the second most credible NFL source on the planet, says that they're down to Trey Lance and Mac Jones, it's usually right. Okay? So that's why Justin Fields is out of my mock draft. I'll tell you right now, Shane could vouch for it. Yesterday I had Justin Fields at number 3. I literally told you. Okay? Now it's gone. When they said that, I changed my whole mock draft. Mac Jones goes number 3. I heard that Kyle Shanahan wants a system quarterback, wants Mac Jones. The scouting department wants Trey Lance. At the end of the day, it's Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch who have the last say. So I'm going to say Mac Jones goes there. They want a system quarterback. Mac Jones is probably the best system quarterback in this draft besides Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
The reason why they probably wouldn't want Justin Fields is because Justin Fields is not a system quarterback. His reads are the slowest out of the top 5, and he gets the ball out the slowest out of the top 5. And that's not the offense that they want to run. So that's why they're not going to pick him. Okay.
So I'm fully aware why you put him here. It's not because you think it's the best choice. It's because
I don't think it's the best choice.
I know. So let me play a little game with you. Okay. You are John Lynch, and I am a reporter. Okay. Mr. Lynch, Why did you trade up to spot number 3 to take a guy who wasn't projected to go top 3 until you made that trade?
I don't. How am I supposed to know that someone else didn't have Mac Jones higher on their list? Because you remember that they were at 12, right? The Denver Broncos are still at 9, who need a quarterback. They could have Mac Jones up on their draft board, and they could say, he's easily going to fall to me. You know?
Right.
You never know, right?
Right, but with a top-heavy draft.
You could also think, let's say I'm John Lynch. I'm looking at Mac Jones, and I have fucking 5-star, like, in my eyes, thinking, like, holy shit, this is going to be our guy. You never know what they're thinking.
I know. But, again,
like
in a top-heavy draft, so let's be honest, after Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson and Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts, the rest are very interchangeable in a sense. Like, I think the top 5 or 6 is almost locked in. Like, Jamar Chase isn't going to slide out of the top 10.
No way.
Kyle Pitts isn't going to slide out of the top 10. Sewell isn't going to slide out of the top 10. There's a big difference between trading for 3 or trading for 8 in terms of value in what you get back. So I just don't get why they traded for 3.
Makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
You just never know. To me, you just never know what other teams are thinking. You don't. And what if like they heard like Chicago's about to trade up to number 3 to get Mac Jones? Like you don't know what's gonna go. Like,
agreed. I mean, at that time, Chicago was trying to trade for Russ, so
it doesn't make what they
kind of did know. I do think we did know, but look, to me, first of all, Dawson, I agree with you 100%. If Mac Jones is your guy, that's okay. I don't mind that. If you're trading as much as they did to move up to 3 from 12, where Mac Jones probably still would have been, it makes absolutely no sense. And then, just second of all, I don't find Mac Jones better than Jimmy G right now. What does he actually do better than Jimmy G? What is the purpose? So then it goes even for, why are you making that trade to get a guy who's like basically a replica of Jimmy G?
I think he's a better deep ball passer and his vision's better, but
I mean,
his vision was better in college football.
Yeah, like he has good vision with Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, and the best O-line in the country, or top 3 O-line in the country in front of him. I mean, safe to say any of these quarterbacks probably would.
I'm getting like a lot of like this is like, I find this is such a similar situation when the Giants took like Daniel Jones.
It's nowhere near so much.
But with that,
this is not. Hey, look, can you listen to me, please?
The Giants didn't make a trade though.
Okay, that's what I'm saying though. But think about it, okay? What if, let's say San Francisco's at 12. This is the same situation, okay? San Francisco's at 12, right? And they think that Mac Jones is going to slide because a lot of people thought that Daniel Jones is going to slide. And then you don't get your guy that you wanted because you didn't trade up because you just assumed that he was going to slide. It's unfair to tell me that I'm wrong when you don't know what these other GMs are thinking in their head.
Right, but it's not – he didn't slide – like he slid – he didn't slide because he was the next best quarterback available.
But wasn't it Dwayne Haskins? Isn't that who you wanted?
2 and 3. Like I wanted Dwayne Haskins. I'm not. That's what I want. But they were so close. Like every scout had them so closely rated.
Because I remember it was a shock that Daniel Jones went to the Giants at 6, or was it 6, 5, 6? Yeah.
I don't know. Just to me, when there's experts who are way more qualified than us to be talking about this, slandering the Niners for making this trade, and if they do go with Mac Jones, I think there's like reasonable doubt for making the trade and making that pick at 3.
We can talk about this all day. We can talk about
this. But it's fine for them to move up from – I mean, it's fine for them to want Mac Jones and for them to trade up. But to trade up 9 picks, to give up what they gave up for a guy who wasn't going to go in the top 3 otherwise, there's no debating that he would fall out of the top 3. I'm not probably go past 4. Cincinnati's not taking quarterback at 5. Then what are you left with? They could have traded up to 6, 7, 8.
The Eagles probably weren't taking them at 6 either.
That's what I'm saying. To me, this trade, if you're taking Mac Jones, it's not a trade you make a month before the draft. It's a trade that you wait until the week of
draft day. Yeah.
When you're hearing people are going to take Mac Jones, and then you jump on it.
Yeah, but what if someone trades up to take Mac Jones and you don't get your chance? You know, like
then you have Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance or Justin Fields still sitting there.
Yeah, I also have them taking Fields and probably trading Jimmy G before the season starts.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay? So that's good. We're all still on the same page here with no trades yet. With the 4th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. Do you want me to talk, or do you guys want to say your things?
No. Let's go around and then we'll talk.
Okay.
Okay. I also have the Atlanta Falcons taking Kyle Pitts here, tight end out of Florida.
Yeah, I agree. Kyle Pitts is the pick for them. Heard rumors of them wanting to trade back because of cap issues. I don't think it's going to happen. I still like Kyle Pitts there at 4.
Yeah.
Mr. Florida takes on Georgia, baby. Kyle Pitts to the Falcons.
Love it.
I think this is the safest pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, even though I said Trevor Lawrence the best player in this draft, you never know what's going to happen to the quarterback. A quarterback is always it's always the biggest gamble of a pick, you know. With this guy, he's probably the best tight end prospect we've ever seen. So, like, he's a guy who's what?
Matt Ryan still has some good football left in him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
think so
agree.
too.
Absolutely.
Be a waste of a second
I think this is the money pick. I think they would be crazy to trade unless they got like the craziest package of all time. I think they'd be nuts to trade away from this guy.
My only thing right now is if the Niners do take Mac Jones at 3, there's probably a couple
gonna
teams
be
that'll
crazy
be horny to
calls.
move up. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at like seriously changing your future, because okay, so let's say someone moves up to 4 with them and takes Fields or Lance or whoever's left, and that pick busts, and they give up next year's first for it, and that first ends up being in the top 5, plus the other picks that they'll offer, probably a first-round pick this year, first-round pick next year, maybe the one after that. If that pick ends up busting, Atlanta's going to look like a winner in this trade. But that being said, I think they win either way if they take Pitts.
I bet you Atlanta could get more for the number 4 if Fields falls than what San Francisco gave up to move up to number 3.
I think so.
I think you're right too.
Definitely.
Anyone have anything else to say about Kyle Pitts?
Just very quickly, just imagine a receiving core with Kyle Pitts, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley.
And Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst is not exactly a bad
No.
end.
That's
All right, let's
wild.
move on. With the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals will select Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
With the 5th pick in the NBC mock draft,
Yeah.
the Cincinnati Bengals will select Penei Sewell, tackle from Oregon.
With the 5th pick, the Bengals select Jamar Chase, LSU.
The LSU boys are back together. Jamar Chase goes 5th overall.
Look, I'm going to go first here. I'm going to go first.
Let me go first.
No. Let me go first. As someone who has been personally victimized by having a number 1 overall quarterback retire early because you don't protect him, trust me when I say protect him. I don't care how good Jamar Chase is. Protect Joe Burrow.
Dawson, this is a mock draft. What you think is going to happen, not what you want.
I genuinely think they're going to smarten up and take Penei Sewell.
I disagree. I think they're going to be idiots. And even though this is a loaded receiver and tackle draft class, they're going to go with Jamar Chase over one of the best tackle prospects that we've seen in a while. And I think that's bananas.
All right. It's not only the fact that he's probably the best tackle we've seen in maybe the last 10 years, but what do they need to add Jamar Chase for? Like, is T. Higgins
That's what I don't get.
and Tyler Boyd not good enough for you? Like, what is Jamar Chase? Like, why is he – I know he's better receiver than them, but is he that much better than them to pass on a left tackle that could one day be in the Hall of Fame?
Here's my thought process. Joe Burrow wants Jamar Chase.
That's what I think too.
That has been made extremely public. He's the number 1 pick from a year ago who performed pretty well and then had a obviously very serious bad injury.
From what?
Huh?
From what?
From 1 year ago.
No, how did he get hurt?
He got sacked.
Oh, okay.
Dawson, we're not
I know. I'm talking directly.
Listen.
I'm talking
Yeah.
directly to the Bengals GM.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Let me finish. I do think this is a seriously loaded tackle draft as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at guys like Tevin Jenkins might slip out. Even Jalen Mayfield from Michigan's a good tackle. They might he's a guy that might need to be moved inside for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Dylan Radins from North Dakota State as well.
You have Leatherwood, Cosme. Like, there's a bunch of good.
I don't disagree with them taking Jamar Chase. I think they will because I think a number 1 pick from last year will get what he wants at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong about that, completely. But it's either Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell at 5, and then it's either a receiver or a tackle, whichever one they don't get with their first pick of the second round.
I just want to say, you said like that first overall pick's going to get what he wanted. But last year, Kyler Murray wanted CeeDee Lamb, and he didn't get CeeDee Lamb. So maybe somewhere the Bengals GM gets smart and takes Penei Sewell.
I don't know. That paired with the fact that like a lot of beat writers and stuff in Cincinnati are saying that they're getting Jamar Chase. I buy it.
Also, the Cardinals had DeAndre Hopkins. Like,
know.
it's not like the Bengals have a guy that they can say, we're not going to get you another receiver, and you already have the best receiver in the league.
Pick wants what he wants. Kyler Murray wanted CeeDee Lamb. That's who Kyler Murray wanted. And he made that very public also.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys also did have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup when they drafted CD. So, but anyway,
the Cowboys took CD just to spite the Eagles. I'm
Absolutely.
100% sure of that.
Without a doubt.
All right. With the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins will take Penei Sewell, tackle, Oregon.
I have the exact flip. So I have the Miami Dolphins taking Jamar Chase at 6.
The 6th pick in the draft, Miami will reunite Devonta Smith and Tua Tagovailoa.
Wow.
And take Devonta Smith at number 6.
Okay.
Wow.
At number 6, Miami Dolphins will take left tackle Penei Sewell, Oregon.
Listen, I think that whoever's, I don't know who the general manager of Miami is, whatever his name is, he's messing with some people because he was at 3 and he was probably going to take Penei Sewell. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this guy traded down to 12 knowing he's going to trade back up to 6. He's like, I'm going to get the same guy anyway and get a couple first-round picks at the process. So if this actually happens, Miami is hitting the jackpot, getting Penei Sewell and getting a tackle they desperately need for Tua. And
with the pick,
they have another what?
With the pick they got for trading Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah, and they have another pick if people are saying they have to go receiver, like they have 18 or 18. They have an 18 if they want to go receiver there too. Like, so I think they're hitting the jackpot if they get Penei Sewell at 6, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know we say Penei Sewell is one of the best tackle prospects we've ever seen, but don't sleep on Rashawn Slater either. Obviously, I have Jamar Chase here, but if they don't go Jamar Chase and they actually go Slater, I don't think that's a reach. I don't think that's anything. I think Slater would be a good pick for them too, but I just see them, for me, with Jamar on the board, and they have a need at receiver like Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, all these guys. They're good receivers, but they need a star, and if Jamar's on the board, I think they take him.
Yeah, no, I just like the idea of Devontae being there with Tua. It's been well documented. I'm not the biggest Tua fan, but they traded Fitzpatrick out of there. They got to get some reinforcements. Like, I like Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, and Jakeem Grant. They're kind of like whatever guys to me. Like, they're filler guys. I think Devonta Smith would definitely be an upgrade there, though. So I have him taking him at 6.
All right. The reason I didn't give them a receiver here is outside of Sewell being that good, I think they believe in Will Fuller to be a number 1 maybe for now. But also, for whatever reason, they think Tua Tagovailoa is a franchise quarterback. So you have the 6th pick. Why not try and protect him and see what he could do? I've seen a quarterback get drafted 6th overall and not have protection in time to throw the ball. So if you think Tua is your guy, protect him. Let him prove to you that he is your guy.
Yeah, I agree. I listen, I think if you have a young quarterback, there's nothing better than taking a fucking tackle. And if you can get a tackle at this caliber after trading down, like, you're hitting the jackpot. Like
Unless it's Joe Burrow, then we don't protect him.
Just stupid. Anyways, I hope the Bengals pick Penei Sewell. Bottom line, I hope so. Because I hate LSU and I like Joe Burrow. I think he's a freaking.
But let's not to me, Cincinnati still has Jonah Williams, who might be a serviceable left tackle, and then they signed Riley Reef, who's decent.
No, Riley Reef is good, absolutely.
So they're
right tackle than they had last year.
Yeah, I just think they need a tackle. Like, they have decent players at receiver, they have decent players at tackle. I just think a replacement at tackle would be more beneficial. That's just it.
But I just think, to me, they might be like it might be too early to give up on Jonah Williams, and
Maybe.
let's give him a shot at left tackle.
Maybe.
Jonah Williams in college was a left guard, and they.
And that's I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So you take Penei Sewell and you put him at left tackle. You put Jonah Williams at left guard. I think that's an amazing left side.
So too.
Fair enough.
Especially it's
All
his
right.
left side too, right? So, all right. With the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions will select Devonta Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
With the 7th pick, the Detroit Lions select Rashawn Slater, tackle, Northwestern.
I like it.
Trade alert.
Oh,
All right. Here we go.
The Detroit Lions have traded number 7 to the LA Chargers.
All right.
They're going to pick swap and add a couple. The Chargers move up to 7. Penei Sewell is still on the board. They're getting him, and they're going to reunite him with Justin Herbert.
that'd be crazy.
Justin Herbert wants him, bro.
You know what? I wanted to add a trade. I didn't want it to be like too out there. I think this is still really out there. The Chargers have kind of flirted with this idea of doing it, so still think it's a possibility. I didn't want to go with something too safe though either. So I like this trade. I like this fit for them as well. So
That's sick. I forgot you had Sewell available. That's dope. I like that.
At number 7, the Slim Reaper, Devonta Smith, is going to Detroit.
Listen, I know there's a lot of like literally the only thing you could hate on for Devonta Smith is his weight. Like that's literally it. And honestly, we've seen guys that are slim and don't weigh that much at receiver. That listen, if you're gonna play any position and get away with it, it's gonna be receiver. And to me, I think it's just it's too hard to pass up on this guy, especially what he did last year. Like last year, he had even though he had like Mac Jones, who's gonna be in my opinion a top 5 pick, throwing him the ball and stuff. Like he was on the greatest offense of all time, 1 or 2 with LSU last year, and he won the Heisman as a receiver, which has been done twice now. Like to me, like his route running, his height and his catching ability makes him, for his speed too, which is ridiculous. To me, it's just too hard to pass up on him if you're Detroit, whose receiver situation is a fucking shit show right now. You know?
Kenny.
the only thing that scares me with that is does he like? I love his game. Don't get me wrong. I do think he's number 2, but it's more 1A, 1B for me. But he comes in. The Packers' number 1 corner is Jair.
Yeah.
So he'll come in and pretty much be a number 1 right away, right? Like, is that the way you see it?
Yeah, I do that 100%. He's gonna be.
So you have Jair. The Bears got rid of Kyle Fuller, and then the Vikings have a couple very capable corners. How do you see him matching up as unless he puts some weight on?
Not great.
Do you see him being a matchup problem? Like, I love his game again. Speed, the route running, it's all good.
Honestly, I think that great receivers will always have an advantage over great corners. And there's like maybe 2 examples. There's like 2 exceptions in the league, maybe 3. Like Jalen Ramsey, I would take him over any receiver.
Yeah.
My only cause for concern with him, and you'll see why I made this trade in a few minutes, but I just don't see him coming in as a number 1 guy, having 100+ catches, and doing that consistent. Like, I don't hate the pick. I think they need to get reinforcements for him, though.
I also think that it's going to be tough because it's going to be Jared Goff throwing in the ball, and Jared Goff so far has been a bust at number 1, in my opinion. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery, Jared Goff, but like, I don't know. From what I saw last year, Devonta Smith is going to be the best receiver coming out of Alabama since Julio Jones.
All right, here's where I'm fighting you on this. Before Jalen Waddle's injury, Jalen Waddle's stats were better than Devonta Smith. So I have him at 7, but I can see him falling for teams thinking that he might not be a true number 1 receiver.
Okay.
Because at the time before the injury, like I said, Jalen Waddle was Alabama's number 1 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
that
agree.
doesn't take away much from Devonta, though.
No,
like
it
he still
doesn't.
put up the numbers without Jalen Waddle in the lineup. which
Devonta
is
Smith
more
fucking
impressive.
took any defense and tore it apart. Like, it was ridiculous. Like,
I agree, but then teams could look at it and be like, okay, Jalen Waddle's a better receiver than he is. So let's
Yeah,
take
but Jalen Waddle did that with Devonta in the lineup.
No, I know.
and to me, like,
But
my favorite like take I've seen on Devonta Smith is how can you pass up on a guy for not being NFL size, putting up over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns in the college football playoff against the closest thing you're going to get in college to NFL ready defense, you know? And think about, like, people forget that Devonta Smith had over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half of the national championship. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he won MVP before breaking his thumb or whatever. That's
NFL.
fucking crazy.
We have seen better players become a bust in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Devonta Smith is going to be
Yeah,
a
Shane,
bust.
you have him picked here.
I'm just saying,
That's fine. That's fine. If you want to say he might be a bust, you know what? That's fine. Receivers like it's receivers picked high. This is a very big risk. You know, like, yes, but to me what I'm trying to put across is I don't think Devonta Smith is as much as a risk as people think he is because of his weight. Like, if you put him wide out, like, and don't throw him slants, like, he's gonna be fine. Like, you know, like,
I just don't think he's a number 1 receiver right now.
Fair enough. You know what?
Pick 8.
That's fine. All right. We're going on to number 8, and we have a trade, my friends.
Ooh.
Going back to my bold predictions, the Washington football team has traded the 19th overall pick and others. I'm not going to make a whole fucking trade to Carolina for the 8th pick. And with the 8th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Justin Fields slide has ended. Washington will get their guy, Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
I don't think Washington's going back to an Ohio State quarterback anytime soon.
I like that. So for me, not a trade alert, but we have our first reach alert. Okay. So after seeing Sewell and Slater come off the boards, the Carolina Panthers are protecting Sam Darnold, and they're taking Tevin Jenkins, tackle from Oklahoma State. At 8.
Wow.
There's got to be a reach somewhere here. I don't even hate that one.
Spoiler alert, he's not even in my first round. He falls out. He slips. Yeah.
Won your first round?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more. That might be more bold than him.
Worse
Fucking-
than him
Yeah.
going
He slips. He slips for me.
All right.
Oh, wow.
At number 8, Rashawn Slater still on the board. Like you said, Carolina, Sam Darnold didn't have adequate protection in New York. They're going to go and get Rashawn Slater from Northwestern.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a trade to announce.
Oh, baby.
The Carolina Panthers have traded the 8th overall pick to the Chicago Bears. And with that 8th overall pick, the Chicago Bears are proud to select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be surprised if he fell this far. But I could see Detroit trading down. After that, I don't really see anyone trading down except for maybe Atlanta if they get like the craziest fucking like package of all time. But like Justin Fields falls to 8 for me. I think that might be even a reach, but that's where I have him going.
Look, my only thing is, if he's there at 8, they're going to get so many calls because if he's there at 9, Denver's taking him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, for me, at least, I know Cam does a lot of research on the quarterbacks. Matt looks into the receivers a lot, obviously. I'm big into O-line tape, especially this year because the tackle class, like you're going to see in my mock, it's a very good tackle class. And Tevin Jenkins is a very good left tackle. I've watched him on tape a lot. He's a very good left tackle. It's a reach, but I think with a tackle, it's especially a first-round talent tackle. Not that it's hard to go wrong, but you're going to get a guy that can slot in and play right away. So whether it's left or right tackle, he can come in and play right away. So I have him going 8 to the Panthers.
I lied. I don't have him sliding.
I really like
good.
that pick. I really like that pick, Dawson. I mean, he anchored the O-line that Chuba Hubbard ran for 2,000 yards behind.
Yeah.
Crazy stat, Chuba Hubbard ran for 1,000 yards outside the tackles and 1,000 yards inside between the tackles last year when he hit 2,000 yards. That's crazy. Obviously, like he's a great pass blocker too. I like Rashawn Slater doing a lot of those things too, and if he's still there at 8, I don't think they pass on him.
All right, Dawson, back to your pick. It's a reach right now, but looking 5 years down the line,
Exactly.
Terrific pick.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be a very 5 years down the line when he could be a Pro Bowler.
It's a reach. It's a reach. Like
It's a reach on. Yeah, it's a reach on
not
like
a
power
talent-
rankings and
not
stuff
a
like
talent
that.
reach. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
I understand.
You guys want to move on?
I'm
Yeah.
good.
All right. With the 9th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
I like the fit.
Ditto. I have Trey Lance going to the Broncos as well.
Yeah, he's still gonna be there. They're gonna take him. I don't think they believe in Drew Lock. I personally don't believe in Drew Lock. Can't go wrong. Trey Lance.
And for the first time, we have a defensive player off the board. The Denver Broncos are proud to select Pat Surtain, quarterback.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Fuck the Cowboys, I guess, eh?
What?
Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they get shat on. I hope their draft board goes up in flames midway through the draft.
Wow. All right. Listen, I think Denver. I think the whole Drew Lock experience just hasn't worked out. I think they just need a refresher, and I think Trey Lance could be that guy. Listen, if they want to ride with Drew Lock for one more year while Trey Lance gets into that system, but I don't think Drew Lock is their guy.
Look, if they ride with Drew Lock one more year, I think they'll have Sam Howell next year. So, they'll go first overall. But as much as Drew Lock is a cool guy, like he can dance, he can sing, like he's not a fantastic NFL quarterback. Let's be real. And Trey Lance, don't forget, at one point, and probably still on some mock drafts, like they have him going to the Falcons. Like there's still guys who have him going to the Falcons top 4. So the talent isn't an issue. I think they take a chance on him because why not? Drew's not your guy, clearly. So
You know what the craziest thing is? Like, if I'm the Falcons, there's literally, like, if I love Trey Lance, there's literally not one person in this draft besides Kyle Pitts that I would just pick him over. You know, like, like if you really think that Trey Lance is your like main guy, like it's gonna be so hard to pick him over Kyle Pitts, and that's why I don't have him going there.
yeah.
To me, the thing with Trey Lance, the Broncos might wait another year and wait it out, see what Drew Lock can do. Hasn't been much so far, but I think they might think that the value at number 9 is not there for them, given that it's going to be a weird draft. I really don't know. If he's still there, I see them
So
take
excited for this draft, man. So excited.
His first pro day did pretty well. His second pro day, he ran something similar to that Niners script for Kyle Shanahan. Looked really good doing it. So I do see him going top 10.
Mhm.
And I like the fit with Denver as well.
All right.
You had him going to Denver too?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I went Pat Surtain. Number 1, because my bold prediction was Teddy B would be a Denver Bronco. Number 2, you want to know who the quarterbacks are in that division? Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert. So you have Kyle Fuller on one side, Pat Surtain on the other side. That's a pretty up there, pretty top 10 already duo that you need to stop two maybe very high-powered offenses this year. And Mac Jones is the only quarterback I have left, and there's no chance I will ever put him in my top 10.
All right. Moving on. With the 10th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys will select Patrick Surtain II, cornerback, Alabama.
America's team will go ahead and select Pat Surtain II from Alabama.
Back to back, all three of us agree. Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of controversy here, but we'll see.
Once again, the kid Lone Wolves. The Dallas Cowboys select J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina.
A lot of people have J.C. Horn over Pat Surtain in their draft boards.
Let me just say why here. I think they made a mistake. Well, not that much of a mistake because Zeke is still a very good running back. They made a mistake when they took Zeke over Jalen Ramsey, and they still have not been able to find that number one corner. They're not going to pass up on a corner at number 10 this year if Horn or Surtain are there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I agree.
Listen, I think they're hitting the lottery if they get Pat Surtain. To me, to me, hands down, he's the best corner in this draft. I'm a big Alabama guy. It's not even a bias. I just watched him all year. This guy would just shut down people. It was ridiculous. Like, this is such a good corner prospect. I think him dropping to 10 is such a it's so good for Dallas if they get him there. And like, think about it. Like, Dallas was actually like they could have been decent last year. Like, their biggest problem was their freaking defense, right? Like, and their corners. Like, they desperately need a corner, and Pat Surtain is their guy, and I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I agree. This just makes me so, because we're getting into some teams that need corners. This is making me so excited for next year when Derek Stingley is available and someone's going to get to draft him because he is the fucking sickest corner I've ever seen play in my life.
Speaking of Derek Stingley, you know who freaking torched him? Devonta Smith. So if you want to talk about corner prospects, Devonta Smith had 3 touchdowns on him. Like,
Pat Surtain got messed up by someone in that Ole Miss game for sure. If Ole Miss dropped 40+ and like 600 yards on offense, Pat Surtain definitely did not look that good.
People are allowed to have a bad game.
Huh?
People are allowed to have a bad
Everyone's allowed to have a bad game.
No doubt. Just with that in mind, I do think the Cowboys have been weird though this year. I feel like we always hear a lot more about them. So
I was gonna say
I had to do some digging, and they're like just playing games with all the prospects. Like they're like asking prospects questions that they have no intentions of drafting, just trying to get answers about other players out of them. And there's been some weird stuff going on with them. That being said, it might be smoke and mirrors and just taking Pat Surtain.
I have another controversial statement to say.
Yeah.
If J.C. Horn went to a bigger school in South Carolina, he'd be the first cornerback off the board.
I like his game a lot.
I like him too. And I agree with you that if Pat Surtain gets taken by the Broncos, there's no way they're passing up on a corner.
No.
And he's the next best guy, in my opinion. Do you want to just keep going? Do you want to go over our first 10?
Yeah, let's recap.
Okay. I have 1, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. 2, Jets, Zach Wilson. 3, Niners, Mac Jones. 4, Falcons, Kyle Pitts. 5, Bengals, Jamar Chase. 6, Dolphins, Penny Sewell. 7, Lions, Devonta Smith. 8, trade. I have Washington trading to 8 and picking Justin Fields. Denver at 9, I have Trey Lance. And 10 for the Cowboys, I have Pat Surtain.
Yeah, so obviously at 1, I have Trevor Lawrence. 2 to the Jets, I have Zach Wilson. 3 to the Niners, I have Justin Fields. 4 to the Falcons, we got Mr. Kyle Pitts. 5 to the Bengals, Penei Sewell. 6 to the Dolphins, Jamar Chase. 7 to the Lions, Rashawn Slater. 8 to the Panthers, the first reach of the draft, Tevin Jenkins. 9 to the Broncos, Mr. Trey Lance. And 10 to the Cowboys, Patrick Surtain II.
Bro, you had 3 tackles going in the first 10. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. At 1, I have Trevor Lawrence, obviously, to the Jags. 2, Zach Wilson to the Jets. 3, Mr. Fields. Gonna be the 3rd overall pick. Go to San Francisco. Pitts at 4. You really can't go wrong with that. Jamar Chase at 5 to the Bengals. Devonta Smith at 6 to Miami. At 7, Penei Sewell to the Chargers via Detroit. Number 8, I have Rashawn Slater. Number 9 to the Broncos, I have Trey Lance. And number 10, Pat Surtain to the Cowboys.
All right. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville. Number 2, Zach Wilson, Jets. Number 3, 49ers take Trey Lance. Number 4, Kyle Pitts. Number 5, Jamar Chase. Number 6, Penei Sewell. Number 7, Devonta Smith. Number 8, Chicago trades with Carolina, takes Justin Fields. Number 9, Denver takes Patrick Surtain II. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys take J.C. Horn.
Shane, who's on the clock?
The New York Football Giants are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Shane, I don't know if you're going to like this pick.
Probably not.
I don't even know if you're going to think it's necessary, but
If it's a receiver, it's not necessary. I don't want to hear it.
it's not a receiver.
Okay, there we go.
With the 11th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Rashawn Slater,
I would be so happy.
tackle, Northwestern.
I would strip through the streets of El Perot if they got Rashawn Slater.
Let me
Rashawn
clip that
Slater,
real quickly.
In my opinion, is the second best tackle in this draft. Him falling to the Giants, to a team that desperately needs to protect their quarterback because their quarterback can't hang on to the ball. It seems like a lottery pick for me.
I agree.
Terrific pick.
Shane, I hope you like this one too, as much as Matt's, where you would be willing to strip naked and run around your city. I have the New York Football Giants taking J.C. Horn.
I would absolutely. I had him at first, and then I put Patrick
Okay.
on.
Beautiful.
Wanted to give them Rashawn Slater. Like you said, Matt, definitely the second best tackle. Some people have him as the first. I don't think he's getting outside the top 10. So at number 11, this kind of pains me to say because I think this guy's going to be great. The New York Giants select Micah Parsons out of Penn State.
Shane, we did you good, Mud. We did you good.
I contemplated Waddle.
With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the New York Football Giants are proud to select Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State.
A great
I
pick.
like it. I like all our picks, to be honest.
Can't go wrong with any of those guys we just said.
All right, here's my thing on Rashawn Slater before we go. He is listed as a tackle. I strongly believe he will play guard at the NFL.
Interesting.
I've had
Boy, do we need a damn guard.
Yeah. I think I gifted you J.C. Horn too. I don't really have much to add. I think obviously you guys need some secondary help. But and he's definitely the best available. And he other than Waddle, he might be at that time just picking best available. So you can't go wrong with that.
I don't know why Micah Parsons has slipped this much.
He really
It
has.
was that whole thing about like the locker room thing, but that kind of got debunked and wasn't very serious. To me, like at one point, I literally thought he was going to be picked top 5.
But he was number 2.
He's literally the example of what like Nick Saban was talking about. Did you guys see his interview about like his draft, like about why his recruiting is so good and why why Alabama produces like the best prospects, like the best prospects to draft and like their personality wise, as I say, like it's not just a football like
Yeah.
so like what he was saying is the two more. It's like he used to work. Like he said he's like I worked in the NFL for 8 years, which means I went through like 1,000 draft interviews per year. Like you know, like I know what the ins and outs are. This is how I prepare my students. He's saying like the two most important words in a draft or in a like a to know about a player are and but. So like you'll hear all about his like on-field play. It's like he's super fast, he's great hands and whatever, and he's a great leader in the locker room, and he gives back to charity or he works at a charity, you know, like but he had a DUI, but he like got it like that. Those are the types of things like
You want to limit the butts, basically.
yeah, exactly. So like you want to limit the butts and have like all the ands, and that's the best prospects that you're gonna get. So like that's why I have Micah Parsons just sliding a tiny bit, but not that much. But
What's
I have
your
Rashawn
butt
Slater.
on him? That's
Well,
what I'm
like-
confused about. But he opted out because I do think if he played last year, he would definitely be in the top 10.
I think so too. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he went in the top 10.
Did you guys hear what Kevin Colbert said, the GM of the Steelers? He said if we have 2 prospects that are super close, and one of them opted out, we're going to take the player that played. So
so-
opting out like is just hurting these players at this moment.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that, anyways. I just think he's super athletic,
Yeah.
game changer type backer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we want to move on. We're good?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
so before we get to the 12th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles have it. They were supposed to have the 6th pick, but they traded down with Miami because Miami traded down to 12 with San Francisco. Then they traded back up to 6 with Philadelphia.
Let's do this.
So, with the 12th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles are proud to select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama.
With the 12th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft,
Please don't be Waddle.
the Philadelphia Eagles are proud to select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. Keep in mind, I'm the only one with Devonta still on my board, and I gave you Waddle over Devonta.
That's crazy. I respect it.
Thanks so much for that. I don't know what
Okay,
answer you were
First of all,
expecting.
first of all,
Yeah, I'm a little salty today because
Cam, you go, and then I'll give my piece.
Hey, J.C. Horn's still on the board. The Eagles have
Not for me.
Darius Slay, a little bit weird year, but pair them up together. Put J.C. Horn on the outside. He's game ready right now. Let's lock him in. The Eagles are going to take J.C. Horn with the 12th pick. Should he be there, which in my mock draft he is. So
Howie Roseman finally gets it right and takes the right wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. Welcome to Philly, big man.
I think.
Yeah, so I'm concerned about your objections here.
I think that Philly made the wrong choice at their receiver last year in the draft.
I think so.
I would wait on that.
Passing on the second in the running for offensive rookie of the year. I think that this year they get it right. To me, Jalen Waddle is a close third on my receiver board. And trust me, coming from Alabama fan, this guy is so electric. Like, this guy could end up being the best receiver in the draft. Like, I know it's a shock to say that because it should be Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith. But Jalen Waddle is so freaking fast, and, like, his route running, his hands are so good.
I'd rather have Waddle
than Devonta Smith?
Yeah.
I would not.
All right, Cam, I want to hear why you don't want Waddle.
I don't think the Eagles traded back to take a receiver. That's the only thing I have to say, honestly.
I know.
They have 3 first-round picks next year. There's going to be some big prospects. Or they should have 3 first-round picks next year. I really don't hate Jalen Reagor. I don't think a lot of people watch his college tape, and then last year he got injured after week 1. So I do think he'll pan out to be a good slot guy. I don't see what Jalen Waddle brings to the Eagles offense that they don't have right now. And I just love the fit for J.C. Horn. I mean, the Eagles have been all defense and then let the offense work off what the defense does. I think they'll try to continue that in the last years with Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and all those guys. So, yeah, but I to me, it's like, what does Jalen Waddle bring to the Eagles offense that they don't have right now?
Because
A receiver?
They want to build an offense with guys just named Jalen.
See, that would be bad. But no, like, you talk about speed, Jalen Reagor is ridiculously fast. So is John Hightower. Quez Watkins is sneaky. I mean, everyone else is gone. But...
You just named 2 guys. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, well, I'm an Eagles fan, so I know. I trust the process. But
also, I feel like it's kind of hard to say that's a bad pick when his draft, like, comparison.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I just don't want him.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
What'd you say?
His draft comparison is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but, like, okay, Zach Wilson's comparison, Patrick Mahomes. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Eagles are going to
say for certain. Like,
Eagles are going to take the guy who won the most rock paper scissors matches.
I'm not saying. Yeah. Don't even get me started. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying
it's fine.
Personal preference. You wouldn't want him.
Yeah. No.
All right. Let's move on. Number 13. The 13th pick overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Los Angeles Chargers will select Christian Darrisaw, tackle, Virginia Tech.
In Dawson's mock draft, the 4th tackle comes off the board. The Los Angeles Chargers select Christian Darrisaw, tackle, Virginia Tech.
The boys are buzzing.
With the 13th pick, Detroit gets their guy. Jalen Waddle is still on the board. They will not pass him up. The Lions take Jalen Waddle at 13.
Yeah, so just a reminder, Cam traded the 13th and the 8th pick. They swap picks.
Chargers. Yeah.
At number 13, Justin Herbert has some protection, ladies and gentlemen. Rashawn Slater.
Still on the board in yours, damn.
He's still on the board.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a great pick for them at 13.
All right.
Not much to say. A couple tackles protecting Herbert.
That's it. That's what I mean. You got your franchise guy, a guy who's going to be an MVP. I fucking protect him. You need protect him. Like it's brutal. You already have a receiver. You already have like a freaking decent defense. Like you just have to protect your guy, and it's simple as that.
That's why I think this trade bodes well for both teams. I mean, the Chargers get Penei Sewell, who's obviously going to work, and then I think Quintez Cephas ran like a 4.7 last year. I think he's a good receiver, but he's running a 4.7. Tyrell Williams is not a game breaker either. So you put Jalen Waddle in that offense. Granted, it's still Jared Goff and some probably subpar players, but I like it for them. So Jalen Waddle can be a Lion.
All right. Here is my first reach alert. I mean, you guys already kind of heard this pick, but the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings will select Trayvon Moehrig, safety, TCU.
I like it. With the 14th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Jalen Phillips, edge from Miami.
Wowza.
Yeah. So obviously there's a bunch of stuff. I'll just quickly touch on it with Jalen Phillips, like having to have medically retired before
that
he
was
transferred.
really weird, man.
Transferring to Miami, like a bunch of weird stuff. But him and again, playing opposite of Greg Rousseau obviously helps too. But
they never played together.
Oh no.
No,
Yeah,
because
true.
Rousseau off the
True.
He's
But
fourth on my edge list.
really,
Yeah.
You know Phillips was the number one recruit in the country in his year.
Didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
but anyways, Jalen Phillips. I watched a bit of tape. He just looks like a good edge guy. Like he's good.
Yeah, he's a freak. They're both freaks.
Yep.
At number 14, Minnesota needs some help on that O-line. They're going to select Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. Slot right in, play either guard position. I like it for them.
I'm rolling with Cam. Protect Kirk. Kirk.
Same pick.
Yeah.
I like it. Again,
All right.
not much to add here.
I'm good. Move on.
This next one's an interesting one.
All right. With the 15th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots are going to get very lucky and select Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. I know that they have Dante Hightower, but Micah Parsons is a guy who could play everywhere. You could change your defense around Micah Parsons and Dante Hightower. I think this pick is a lottery pick for them.
I was going to do that. I'm just not sure because they got Kyle Van Noy back too. So where he slots in on that defense a little weird, but that would be a crazy pick for them.
Yeah, agreed. I was going to fit them in because I have Parsons on the board as well, but it pains me to say this. Despite all their free agent signings this year at the wide receiver position, the New England Patriots at 15 go ahead and take Devonta Smith after he fell this far. And it pains me to say that because I like Devonta Smith and I don't like the Patriots. So,
yeah, that's another great pick for them.
About to make me a Patriots fan. Fuck.
Not much on the board. Mac Jones is still on the board for me. I saw Bill Belichick at his pro day. Didn't look impressed, to say the least. Who knows? But
Who does he look impressed with?
yeah.
No, but I was watching it live on NFL Network, and it zoomed in on Bill Belichick after Mac Jones. I think, he overthrew a couple guys, but that probably happens all the time. He overthrew someone, and it zoomed in on Bill Belichick, and he was just like, he had his mask, and he was just like pure disappointment. So,
Oh, man.
they're gonna go defense here. They're gonna take Quiddy Pie out of Michigan. I like it for them. Not too much thinking. He could have dropped a little further, but I like the fit. So
That is a very New England pick. I don't know. The Michigan guy, I just feel like it's a very New England pick.
yeah,
All right. It's a match made in heaven. I can continue to hate both of them. Mac Jones, welcome to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Definitely see. I could see that. That's like the next thing I would see happening if no one traded for him and they didn't take him at 3.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Or do you guys want to keep? No? All right.
No,
moving
we're
on.
good.
With the 16th pick, we're halfway done here. In the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Christian Barmore, defensive lineman, Alabama.
Guy's a dog.
Apparently he's slipping hard. Apparently
Dude, let me tell you, this guy is a freaking beast.
Yeah. Anyways, with this guy on the board, I have a hard time seeing them pass on him. At number 16, the Arizona Cardinals select Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons and Isaiah Simmons.
I was gonna say that's
Just
Gonna say that.
let that marinate.
Let this marinate. Fucking J.J. Watt, Christian
Yeah.
Barmore, and what's his name? Fucking Chandler Jones. Like,
I was gonna go corner here, but they did acquire Malcolm Butler, so
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I think they might wait on that. Maybe a bit of a reach. I'm not too sure, depending on where you guys have him, but Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. Love the pick for them. Hassan Reddick's gone. He'll come in, and they really found a lot of success with moving Hassan Reddick. Really, I mean, he was always in the box, but rushing him off the edge. I think Zaven Collins does that perfectly. He'll come in and replace him right away. I like the pick for them.
I'm going to play the role of heartbreaker right now for two of my fellow members on the podcast.
No, don't put Caleb Farley to the no. Shane.
Arizona selects Caleb Farley.
No. Shane.
I can see it happening very.
I can see it happening too. That's why it hurts.
I would be shocked if you made it to the Colts.
I have nothing to add. The Cardinals get an absolute steal with Micah Parsons at 16.
I feel like this draft is so loaded with like,
It is.
this guy's a steal, this guy's a steal, this guy's a steal. You know, like I
Yeah.
feel like there hasn't been a lot of drafts like that.
I mean, it's because I guess there's so many quarterbacks going and
Yeah, that's why.
so high. That has to be why.
100% why.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the number 17 pick. And one of my little slides here stops. With the 17th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders will select J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina.
That would be
I like that. I like that. With the 17th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Christian Barmore, interior defensive lineman, Alabama. I said before he's a dog. What better place for a dog to go than the Raiders? Just like I could just picture it. I can picture him in the silver and black. Yeah, like I said, just an absolute animal.
I had a little bit of a slide. I think this is a perfect fit for them after what just happened. The Las Vegas Raiders will select Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle from Virginia Tech. They lost Gabe Jackson. They lost Rodney Hudson. That line's in shambles. They need a guy to come in right away. I think he's their guy.
I like it.
I am also taking Christian Darrisaw for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah. Listen, I think J.C. Horn's probably not going to fall this far. But if he does, I think the Raiders would be crazy not to take him.
Yeah. I think for me, for my Barmore pick, I think anywhere from 16 to 25, he would slot in really well and be like a respected pick at that spot. So it might be a bit early for him, but he's the best interior defensive lineman in the class. So I don't see this as a reach really.
Yeah, no. Teams that are drafting for needs are going to go for him. I do have him close to the end of the first round, but I like Darrisaw for them. Like I said, their O-line's bad shape, so
He's one of those.
Their defense is terrible too, though. So
he's one of those guys that could go from like anywhere from 15 to like 35.
yeah, just
yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
To move on.
Yep. All right. So with the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins will select Kwity Paye, edge rusher, Michigan.
So I think I was the only one who had the Dolphins taking a receiver, right?
Yes.
no, I haven't taken Devonta.
Okay, right.
Oh,
right,
you did.
right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Anyways, irrelevant. So at the 18th pick, after taking Jamar Chase, the Miami Dolphins take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame.
He is a dog.
Yeah, and I also think I just bodied his name. I think I fucking killed it.
He did.
You just said Karamo instead of Koromoa, but you're pretty good.
Whatever.
It was great effort. I'll give it to you.
Hey,
I like
The 18th pick.
but again,
Miami's
I've watched
gonna
his
take-
tape. He's nasty.
With the 18th pick, Miami's going to take Jalen Phillips.
Woo!
Edge out of Miami. Had a good year last
Miami.
year. Miami going to address that edge situation. Get the pass rush up.
All right. At 18, continue to build around your franchise guy. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver,
Yeah.
Like it.
Out of
He's going to
Minnesota.
be nasty.
He is going to be nasty.
He's a good receiver build, let me tell you. All right, we good? I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, moving on to 19. Just a reminder, Washington traded up with Carolina to take Justin Fields. So I have Carolina at 19. So with the 19th pick, 2021 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers will select Rashawn Bateman, receiver, Minnesota.
With the 19th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, I have the Washington football team taking Zaven Collins, linebacker from Tulsa.
Jeez.
The 19th pick, the Washington football team will select Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Love the fit for them.
Washington Fire Ants are very proud to select Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from the University of Notre Dame.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think three of us covered their linebacker need, and Matt obviously traded out. So I like the fit for all of them. I would have put Koramoah there, but obviously he just went to the Dolphins, so I couldn't. So Zaven Collins, welcome to the football team. Welcome to the Fire
I
Ants,
think
should say.
there's like kind of a consensus that they need to go defense here. So
I think
Yeah,
that's all
I
they
think they will.
like at this point.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our last pick before we go over our last 10 at number 20. So with the 20th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, unfortunately, the Chicago Bears will select Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech. One pick away from my boy Dawson getting his dream.
Look, I'm going to be completely honest. When I made my first draft of this, I had Caleb Farley going to the Bears too. But in my head, I tried to think of situations how I could get him to the Colts, and it somewhat influenced my draft, but I can actually see it folding out like this. So with the 20th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, they reunite Mac Jones and his father, Andy Dalton,
Oh, wow.
in Chicago.
I was gonna say I think you guys might have forgot who's still on my board, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. If Mac Jones is there, I think they gotta take his pro comp, pair them up together, and see what they
Yeah.
could do.
Mac Jones falling to 20. Interesting.
For those of you who recall, I made a trade. Chicago moves up. Carolina moves down. With the 20th pick in this draft, Carolina selects Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State.
All right. Yeah. All right. So here, let's go over 11 to 20. 11 Giants, Rashawn Slater. 12 Eagles, Jalen Waddle. 13 Chargers, Christian Darrisaw. 14 Vikings, Trayvon Moehrig. 15 Patriots, Micah Parsons. 16 Cardinals, Christian Barmore. 17 Raiders, J.C. Horn. 18 Dolphins, Kwity Paye. 19 Washington, Rashawn Bateman. 20 Bears, Caleb Farley.
I got at 11 to my boy Shane, J.C. Horn. At 12 to my boy Cam, Jalen Waddle. I thought he would be happy. He wasn't. 13 to the Chargers, Christian Darrisaw. 14 to the Vikings, Jalen Phillips from Miami. New England Patriots take Devonta Smith at 15. The Cardinals get an absolute steal at 16 and take Micah Parsons. The Las Vegas Raiders go ahead and take Christian Barmore from Alabama. The Dolphins take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. The Washington football team take Zaven Collins. And the Bears go ahead and get their guy, Mac Jones.
At 11, Giants take Micah Parsons. Can't go wrong with that at all. Love the pick for them. We'll see how Shane feels about that. At 12, the Eagles get J.C. Horn. Desperately need a second corner. At 13, Detroit via the Chargers will get Jalen Waddle. Add some speed. At number 14, Minnesota gets Elijah Vera-Tucker, some help on the O-line. Number 15, New England takes Kwity Paye out of Michigan. Number 16, Arizona gets Zaven Collins. Number 17, the Raiders get Christian Darrisaw. Number 18, Miami gets Jalen Phillips out of Miami, so he's staying home. 19, Washington gets Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And at 20, Chicago gets Mac Jones.
At 11, the greatest team in NFL history gets Micah Parsons. Philly Gets Jalen Waddle at 12. Rashawn Slater falls to 13, helping protect Justin Herbert. Vera Tucker to Minnesota. Mac Jones falls to 15. Caleb Farley goes to 16. I know Dawson's not very happy about that, but it happens. Las Vegas takes Christian Darrisaw. Miami goes Rashad Bateman. 19. Washington takes JOK. And Carolina, after the trade, takes Tevin Jenkins at 20.
So me and Shane both have Tevin Jenkins going to the Panthers, just like 12 picks apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to my boy Dawson's team here. And just before, whenever I think about the draft and like the Colts, I always think of Pat McAfee's like draft announcements.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that clip.
Please welcome from West
McAfee.
Virginia University, 2014 Colts Man of the Year and two-time Pro Bowler.
Do we have a 7-second delay?
McAfee.
He's Man of America, not Man of the Year. He's Man of
Hello,
America.
Nashville. I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin. 2 years ago, when I retired from the Colts, I retired alongside two greats, Robert Mathis and Joe Wright. A couple months later, I watched the draft. Robert Mathis announced the pick, Joe Wright announced the pick, and then an orangutan announced the fourth-round draft pick. I was replaced by a zoo animal. I was not upset about it because the orangutan was terrible at his job. With that being said, the Indianapolis Colts are the hottest team, not only in the AFC South, but the entire NFL. A young nucleus surrounding the Stanford nerd, Andrew Luck. 2 All-Pros were drafted last year, 10 this year. And with the 89th pick of the 2019 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard select future Hall of Famer, linebacker from Stanford, Bobby Okereke. Okereke.
Pat McAfee, everybody.
Nicely done, Pat.
I mean, that's 10 out of 10 right there.
All right, so at 21, the Colts, right?
Don't let me down.
I don't know if you're going to like it or not, but with the 21st pick, 2021 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Jalen Phillips, edge, Miami.
I don't mind it. I don't love that he medically retired, but we'll see. Boys, at 21, the Colts are proud to select Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Colts are going to take Caleb Farley at 21. He's going to slide a little bit. There's medical concerns with him also, so
Fuck it.
that's the reason for his slide.
Boys, I have a reach on my hands here. At 21, the Indianapolis Colts are very proud to select Liam Eichenberg, left tackle, Notre Dame.
I like it.
Go back to the well that brought you Quentin Nelson.
I like it. The only thing is, I don't know if what's his name? Chris Ballard will ever reach. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade out of the first round tomorrow. Happens every year. I stay up until 11 because the Colts usually pick in like the 20s and then they trade the pick and I'm like, what the fuck did I stay up for? But yeah, I like all your picks. The Jalen Phillips one is okay to me. They desperately need edge rushers because Justin Houston's gone. We don't really have many edge guys, so I would love that. I'm cool with any of the picks you guys really said.
All right. Moving on. This is a pick I really like, actually. I think it's a slam dunk. But at 22, so with the 22nd pick, 2021 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans will select Greg Newsome II, cornerback, Northwestern. One of the most slam dunk picks in the first round for me, if they get him. I think Greg Newsome is a very underrated prospect in this draft and could turn into a very good corner in the league.
I agree. So, as you know, not a huge fan of the Titans, division rival. They had to say goodbye to Mr. Corey Davis this year. So I have them taking Rashad Bateman, receiver from Minnesota here. I think it's a good pick. It's a good fit. Obviously, not a huge need for a receiver with how much they rely on Derrick Henry. But if he's there, I think he's a very talented guy. Again, watch some tape on him. It looks pretty good. So I'm comfortable sliding him there.
I was gonna go receiver too, but changed my mind. Tennessee with the 22nd pick is gonna take Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. Look, they've had a serious lack of drafting pass rush or signing pass rush. Clowney obviously didn't work out. Neither did Vic Beasley last year. They're desperate for someone that's gonna come in and make some plays on that line and get some sacks, some very much needed sacks. So that's their guy.
I too have Greg Newsome II going to Tennessee.
There you go. A little draft unity.
Draft unity.
All right.
My boy Dory Jackson left, came to Big Blue. Got to fill a need.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to 23, where the New York Jets acquired this pick from Seattle through the trade of acquiring Jamal Adams. So with the 23rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets have already taken Zach Wilson and will protect him with Elijah Vera Tucker, tackle, USC.
I like that. So obviously in my mock as well, I have Zach Wilson going to the Jets with the 2nd overall pick. But with the 23rd overall pick, I still have him on my board. The Jets go ahead and take Kwity Paye, edge from Michigan.
We're at 23. You have the Jets at 23. The Jets are going to go Greg Newsome. He's still on my board. Great pick for them. That's Robert Saleh's guy from here on out. I think he'll – look, they obviously need Zach Wilson at 2. I think they're going defense at 23 for sure. So that's my guy.
All right. At number 23, I'm riding with Dawson. Kwity Paye. Look at the D-lines that Robert Saleh had in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Now look what he's building here. He's got Quinnen Williams. He's got Sheldon Rankins. Now he's got Carl Lawson. And now he's putting Kwity Paye on the other side of Carl Lawson.
All right. So let's move on to 24, which is going to be very interesting. Okay. Because this player is not really ranked high in terms of prospect-wise, but he is ranked high in terms of his position. So with the 24th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama.
I mean, yeah. I had him slotted here too. I just think what we saw last year with the guys that slid to the 2nd round, like Jonathan Taylor and, all those guys, I think we'll unfortunately see it again this year with Najee, which is sad because on paper, he's a top 3 or 5 talent-wise in the draft, which is crazy that he's going to fall out of the 1st round, but it is what it is. So I have the Steelers going ahead and taking Elijah Vera Tucker here at pick 24.
Yeah, no doubt. Pittsburgh needs O-line help. So with the 24th pick, still on my board, and maybe he's gonna go higher now, but we'll see. Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State, shore up that O-line right away. They're gonna lose Villanueva. It's just a huge loss for them. So they need to get a tackle.
I'm jumping on the Najee Harris train here. They got rid of James Conner and said they were going to draft the running back. Obviously, there's 7 rounds in the draft. But I feel like if Najee Harris is there, they're going to take him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go on to 25, where Jacksonville will get their 2nd pick in the 1st round, acquiring this pick a couple of years ago in trading Jalen Ramsey to the Los Angeles Rams. So with the 25th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select Tevin Jenkins, tackle, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, the year of the tackle in Dawson's mock draft continues. I think this is the 5th tackle I have going. So the Jacksonville Jaguars select Sam Cosmi, tackle from Texas.
After Cam goes, I have a question for you guys.
Shoot.
Well, after Cam goes.
Yeah.
At 25, still on the board. Only safety of the round. The Jags will take Trayvon Moehrig.
I also have Trevon Moehrig, but why do you guys think that the Jags need a tackle?
Honestly, I was looking at like PFF, and they were saying that they had a desperate need for O-line and tackles. So that's why I took it. That's why I took a tackle in this draft.
Like Cam Robinson's a good tackle.
I like him a lot.
Who's the right tackle? It's Jawan Taylor.
Yeah.
Jawan Taylor's I know what you mean, but I think they need to address, especially drafting Trevor Lawrence. We forgot to mention at 1 here. I think they'll protect him. I could be completely wrong, but again, looking at what PFF said too, I looked at that, and I think it was their top need was a tackle, other than a quarterback. So,
and also, all I gotta say is that no matter what, it is never a terrible idea to take an O-line in the first round. It is never a terrible idea to do so.
Except Tennessee's lineman from last year, whoever the hell that was.
Big
But
Andrew
I think to me, the Jags have the 33rd pick. The Jags have the 33rd pick, obviously, so I see them going tackle there, getting their safety need right away at 25. Mm-hmm. But I don't hate the tackle pick there at all.
All right, boys. The Browns are on the clock.
All right. With the 26th pick in 2021 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns will select Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker, Notre Dame.
He's still on your board. Damn.
No.
So in this, obviously, the Browns have a good D-line. But I have them adding a weapon here to that D-line. I have them drafting Azeez Ojulari, edge from Georgia.
That is scary.
Yeah, I'm going to follow suit here. I think they're going to draft Jason Owe, though. Guy had a freak pro day. He's over 250 pounds, and he ran a 4.3. So, I mean, you could just, put that together. I think it's a great fit with Clowney and Myles Garrett. He'll be a good rotational guy. Even if he's just coming in on third down, I think he helps them out a lot. So, yeah, that's my pick.
I'm going linebacker here. And a guy I see as a linebacker, maybe other teams don't. Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. I think they need linebackers, and if he's sitting there, there's no way they're passing on him.
Okay.
I like that pick for them.
I like it too.
It was like one of the first few mock drafts I saw like a month ago or whatever. All had Zaven Collins falling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the potential to go top 20, but if not, I think if he's sitting there for them, they take him absolutely.
All right. With the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens will select Azeez Ojulari, edge, Georgia.
All right. So this is my second, I think you can call it a reach of the draft, and it's a bias pick because I watched him play a lot, and he's on my favorite college football team, and that is Joe Tryon, edge from Washington.
Wow.
The dude is fucking disgusting. He is the meanest looking motherfucker ever. And I think he just fits the vibe in Baltimore. And I did see him going first round on some mocks too. So I have him going there.
He opted out last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 27, Baltimore did not trade Orlando Brown to not get a need here. They're going to go Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. Great value pick at 27 for them.
All right, number 27, Jason Owe. Matt Judon left in free agency. Yannick Ngakoue left in free agency. They need edge rushers now. He's the best edge rusher on the board for me.
All right. Let's move on to the main event. Oh, man.
Very mad what the guy took for you.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, you'll be
Before
happy.
I announce
with
this pick, I can see the Saints going in three separate directions. Okay? One direction, they take a much-needed number 2 corner. Now that Janoris Jenkins is gone. The second thing I see them doing is taking a receiver, number 2 receiver. Now that Emmanuel Sanders is gone. And the third thing I see them doing, which I don't think is the most necessary thing, is them taking a linebacker. Okay? So with that being said, with the 28th pick, I'm going to have them taking the next best available corner, in my opinion, in Asante Samuel Jr.
He is disgusting.
Corner, Florida State. I desperately want them to take a corner. I could not really care less if they took a receiver or a linebacker. Personally, I mean, I'm not a GM, but I think that their biggest need is that corner, because I think that's the only that's the weakest spot for us right now. Because Marshawn Lattimore is absolutely disgusting. Top 5 lockdown corner, in my opinion, in the league, and there's no help on the other side. Janoris Jenkins did very well last year. Don't get me wrong, but he's gone now. So if there's anything that the Saints are lacking right now, it's at the cornerback position, because I don't know. I think that Jameis Winston's going to do fine.
All right. Well, Matt, you said the Tennessee Titans taking Greg Newsome II would be a slam dunk, right? How would you like to see him in the black and gold?
I told you that's one of my dream picks.
Yeah. So I have Greg Newsome II from Northwestern sliding to the Saints.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I think we all see a similar need here. I'm going to go with a bit of a reach, but a guy who I really like for their defense, Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. Not a name we're hearing a lot. He's long. He's athletic. He's very physical.
Mm-hmm.
I like him playing opposite side Marshawn Lattimore. Might not be the pick. Could be Asante Samuel Jr., another great prospect, but I like Tyson Campbell for them.
We're called nothing but controversy for a reason.
Oh, boy.
This is the reach of the draft. Are you ready?
Yes.
Cam already knows what it is. With the 28th pick, 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Davis Mills, quarterback, Stanford.
Why?
I heard you. I remember you saying this guy was going to go in the first and whatever, but I don't think I heard that you said it was New Orleans, because I probably would have yelled at you.
Wow.
Okay.
If they can do it to Aaron Rodgers, they can do it to Jameis Winston.
Yeah, no. I don't think
he did it to Aaron Rodgers, the guy who slid.
Hey, listen, as you said before, if Mac Jones can go number 3, anything can happen.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think
I would be so upset with that pick. I think it's the most useless pick they can do.
If it happens, all of you next week will come on this podcast, and I want my apology.
Sure.
I'm not apologizing to you. If it happens, it happens. But
Shane, if that happens, I'll take you around back and fucking, yeah, you know what?
Okay.
I don't look. Davis Mills is he's one of those. Davis Mills is just like a weird prospect.
I don't even know if I'd want him over Kellen Mond.
I'm just saying. I said what I said.
He's played 11 games. He's thrown for more than 200 in all of them. Watched a very extensive video about Stanford earlier for no good reason, but a lot of them compared him to Mac Jones, said he's basically a very similar quarterback. He's patient. He makes the right reads, strong arm. I don't know if they're going to believe in a guy who's only played in 11 games, though, and reached to take him in the first round. But
I was going to go Kyle Trask, and then, I don't know. I've just been hearing a lot that Davis Mills' name is coming up a lot in the end of the first round.
But is Cam just said he's thrown for over 200 yards in every game? Is that a flex?
Yeah.
I
mean, enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's just move on.
I'm really bummed out.
It's the thing is, not every quarterback who's played a limited amount of games has thrown for that much in every single game.
True.
Hey, Mitch Trubisky only started 10 games and he went number 2. So
honestly, if they take a quarterback, I'd be very surprised, because if there's one thing that the Saints do very well, they draft very, very well.
So there you go. How do you know he's not the next superstar?
Okay. I don't know.
It would be eerily similar to Jordan Love last year.
I would be very surprised if they paid Jameis Winston to draft a quarterback in the first round. If they wanted to draft the first round.
Quarterback sit on the bench his first year and learn.
I guess, but I can't see them taking a quarterback in round 1. I could see them taking him in like round 3. Like,
I don't
but,
think
like,
he'll fall out of the second round, depending on how it goes. But
yeah. Anyways, let's move on. All right, Saints, take a corner, please. This is me begging you. All right. 29 with the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers finally get it right and take a receiver, Elijah Moore, Ole Miss.
I like that pick. For me, Bakhtiari's going to be coming off an ACL. I think they're going to need to shore up that O-line a little bit too. I have them taking Alex Leatherwood from Alabama.
You're just loving this O-line draft right now, eh? You live for this.
I have one more.
with the 29th pick, Green Bay will select Rondale Moore out of Purdue.
That's my boy. God, I love that guy.
Love that guy. Yeah, I think he'll be a really good fit. Right inside between Devonta Adams and Lazard or MVS on the outside. Yeah, I like that.
Speaking of my boy here, as Matt said, they go ahead, they get it right. Kadarius Toney out of Florida. Why that man can do it all. And in an offensive-minded coach like Matt LaFleur, I think he would look amazing next to Devonta Adams.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, moving on to 30. The 30th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Buffalo Bills will select Jason Owe, edge, Penn State.
With the 30th pick, the Buffalo Sabres, Jesus Christ, the Buffalo Bills will select Eric Stokes, corner, Georgia.
Yeesh.
Okay. This is my reach of the draft for sure. Even though it's at the end of the first round where we tend to see reaches. Najee Harris is still on the board. At number 30, Buffalo's going to take Travis Etienne out of Clemson.
I like it. That's a Clyde pick. That's like a Clyde pick.
Yeah.
I like it.
I've said it since day one of this podcast. They need a running back. Travis Etienne would slide in perfectly. He's going number 30 to Buffalo.
Ooh, a little pick unity on a reach.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. With the 31st pick, well, before I go with that, Baltimore traded Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. The Chiefs gave them a couple picks, including the 31st pick in return. So with the 31st pick, the Baltimore Ravens will select Rondale Moore, receiver, Purdue.
So I don't have the Ravens taking a receiver in the first round, despite having 2 picks. But I do have them taking Trevon Moehrig here, safety from TCU.
Good pick. That's sneaky for them if they can get him at 31.
Yeah.
At 31, Baltimore's going to get some more help on the O-line. They had some issues last year. They're going to take Alex Leatherwood out of Bama.
But, I don't think they're going to need a tackle. They said they're already going to bring in Villanueva, no?
But not 100%.
They're about to announce that after the draft?
If they do, I think that they can take Landon Dickerson.
Yeah.
They obviously had center troubles. I could see this pick being Creed Humphrey too,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma center, but I think it's going to be a lineman, at least with one of the 2 picks for them.
Because I had them taking a tackle at 27 before the draft because I was just banking on them trading away Orlando Brown. And then they traded him away. I was like, okay, perfect. And then they're like, we're going to bring in Villanueva. That's why I had them taking Azeez Ojulari at 27.
Mm-hmm.
We have another reach on our hands here, boys. And the reason it's a reach is because both Moores are still on the table. But they are going Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. They need a big body receiver. The reason I didn't give them one of the Moores is because they're both smaller receivers, and they already have Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Terrace Marshall's 6'3", 6'4", over 200 pounds. They need a big physical receiver. They're going to go with him.
Again, another guy who could have been higher, but only played in 5 games last year and didn't have a real quarterback. So
Didn't he score 4 games in one game, and then the next day he opted out?
yeah.
Scored 4 games in 1 game, eh, Shane?
Scored 4 times.
Yeah, I
Oh.
For so long, my brain's
Okay.
fried.
Move on to the last pick of this.
We made it.
All right. This is me banking on the Bucs not bringing back Antonio Brown. Okay? And you know what? They're going to say we won the Super Bowl because we had an electric offense and a sick defense. Let's just add to our electric offense. With the 32nd pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will select Kadarius Toney, receiver, Florida.
That is 100% who I had penciled in here because according to PFF2, that's that ranked their number one need, which I find fucking crazy when you have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans on your team. So I had Kadarius Toney up until the last minute, scratched him off, and I'm putting in Landon Dickerson, Alabama. Can't, like Matt said earlier, you cannot go wrong drafting an O-lineman in the first round. Why not?
Very good center.
That guy is the epitome of a guy that looks like he sleeps with his cousin.
This was a weird pick for me because I know it's the end of the first round, so there's not that much like weighing on it, but it's such a unpredictable pick given that Tampa almost has no needs. But with that being said, they're going to give Vita Vea a new friend, Christian Barmore out of Bama.
Oh, fuck,
Beef
yeah.
up that D-line. If he slides, I think that would be a great pick for them. So, yeah, be a pretty stout front seven with him.
All right. Well, we're not going to go over our full mock drafts.
What about Shane?
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
All right. At this rate, Tom Brady's going to play till he's 80. So he needs some more protection. Alex Leatherwood out of Bama.
Okay.
Now you can go. Go ahead.
Okay. So we're not going to go over our whole freaking mock draft, but if you want to see our full mock drafts, we're going to be posting them Thursday morning on Instagram. So go ahead and check out our Instagram at Nothing But Controversy and be able to see the full graphic of all of our mock drafts there. I think we all had somewhat similar mock drafts in terms of like the players getting selected. There was only a couple reaches that like guys that like could slide to like the second round or whatever, but
Yeah.
all in all, I think we kind of had the same guys, like the same names were flowing around, just at different teams. But I'm really excited for this draft. That being said, we have 2 segments left to end this show, and the next segment is everyone's favorite top 5. So since it's the draft episode, we decided to do top 5 NFL draft busts within the last 10 years. Before I go over my list, I just want to say that 4 out of 5 of these are quarterbacks because I think that personally, if you take a quarterback in the first round and he doesn't pan out, that's the biggest bust you can have, okay? It's kind of hard to argue with me on that one, I think. But number 5, Christian Ponder. Went 12th overall in 2011. Got drafted by who? Like the Vikings?
Yep.
Did he even ever become the real starter there? Like for like a couple of years, I guess. I don't know. I think he ended up like that's a bust to me. Just did not work out. Number 4, Justin Blackmon, receiver. Went 5th overall in 2012. He was such a hot prospect coming out of the draft. And I mean, he had a bunch of off-field issues and got injured a bunch of times. He ended up being a real big bust. Number 3, same draft as Christian Ponder, Jake Locker. Went 8th overall, 2011. The reason I have him under Christian Ponder is Christian Ponder went 12th. Jake Locker went 8th. I had Blaine Gabbert in here too, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have him because he was a Super Bowl winner. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. I think he got picked 10th overall, but he ended up being the backup to Tom Brady and winning the Super Bowl, so I can't really say he's a bust. He's got a ring. Number 2, a guy we all know and love in Montreal, Johnny Manziel. Won the Heisman, was an absolutely electric player in college and just did not pan out in Cleveland. And maybe this is crazy because he came to our local team in Montreal Alouettes and he played here for a year. Did not pan out here either. So it's a double bust, right? At number 1, I'm very sad to say this because I don't know if you guys consider injuries busts, but Robert Griffin III went 2nd overall in 2012. Had an absolutely unbelievable rookie year. Looked like he was going to be the next freaking quarterback of that franchise for the next 15 years. and had that terrible injury and just has never been able to recover since. And I think he's just my number one bust because it's just so disappointing what happened to him, you know?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I would like to give a quick honorable mention, or let's call it a dishonorable mention, to Corey Coleman for the strict reason that I was so excited to see him play in the NFL, and he just never did anything. So that was pretty disappointing. I have a very similar list, except more of a personal one. So number 5, I have Johnny Football, just because he was drafted like later in the first round, so I let it slide a little bit. Number 4, Andrew Luck. Okay. For the strict reason of when he played, he was fantastic. Okay. He was a top 5-10 quarterback in the NFL when he played. But he was not drafted to be a top 5 quarterback for 6 years. Andrew Luck was drafted to be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. Obviously a lot of expectations on him, but the hype around him, the situation he was put in, the team he was drafted to right after Peyton Manning, the Colts let go of Peyton Manning because they knew Andrew Luck was coming. He was drafted to be one of the greatest of all time. He was drafted to be a Hall of Famer, and he's not going to be. So Andrew Luck. Number 3, Justin Blackmon. So much hype around this guy coming out of college. Never lived up to it. Very disappointed in that. Number 2, another one that's near and dear to my heart, Trent Richardson. Drafted 3rd overall, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at one point in that draft, the Colts obviously traded a first-round pick for Trent Richardson after he had a good rookie year. So the Colts had the 1st and 3rd pick in that draft, and Trent Richardson was absolute dog shit ever since that. He was so bad. So I have him there. And then number 1, just because, again, it breaks my heart, again, from the 2012 draft, RG3, just because what could have been.
All right. Like you, at number 5, I have Johnny Manziel. Still love the guy. Very terrible career in the NFL and the CFL. I bought his jersey in Montreal, went to a game. He threw 5 picks or 4. I wanted to kill myself for spending $200 on his jersey.
And you were on TV.
Yeah. And looking like a 12-year-old too. And it was like 3 years ago. And then I went to another game later, like a few weeks later, wore the same jersey, got heckled the whole time. Johnny Manziel didn't play a snap. Not a good time. So Johnny Manziel, you're on my top 5. Number 4, I still have him as a bust because I don't think his career is going to be turned around. Mitch Trubisky. Everything the Bears did, they traded up. He went number 2 overall, and now he's on another team 4 short years later. So unfortunate, but here you are, buddy. At number 3, Marcus Mariota. Again, had a couple decent years in Tennessee. Never lived up to being. Well, did he get picked 1st or 2nd overall? I think Jameis was the 1st pick, right?
Yeah.
So either way, definitely doesn't look like a 2nd overall pick. At number 2, I'm surprised you guys didn't mention him. I don't know if I was the only one who saw how much hype this guy had, but Kevin White, coming out of West Virginia, this guy was supposed to be the biggest mismatch problem and big red zone guy. Pretty sure he has less than 50 catches in his career, so not interesting at all. And at number 1, I'm sorry, Matt, but Trent Richardson. So much hype coming out of him.
He was nasty at Alabama.
Yeah, well, that's why he was throwing dudes left and right.
That's why it's the biggest. That's why it was number 2 for me. He was so fucking good.
It's
and
number.
then he got fat.
Yeah, and he was playing in Saskatchewan at one point, so that's that's the lowest of lows. You're in Cowtown, Saskatchewan, after being drafted 3rd overall. That sucks.
Shout out to all our Saskatchewan listeners. Shane,
that's my list.
Let's
All
hear
right.
it.
I didn't know if you had more to add. At number 5, I have Trent Richardson. Man, I just remember watching him at Alabama, and I was like, this guy, I thought he was like Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry. That's what I thought he was going to be in the NFL. Obviously, he's not as big as Derrick Henry, but. Number 4, we got a little offensive tackle in the mix here. Greg Robinson went number 2 overall in 2014 to the Rams. That was a pick they acquired in the RG3 trade. That man you couldn't get by him when he played at Auburn. He just didn't give up sacks. And now I think he's a backup O-lineman, or even if I don't even know if he's still in the league.
Yeah, I don't. Anyways.
Last I heard of him, he played for the Browns. I don't know where he is now. Number 3. This one pained me. The day that he got drafted, I turned off the TV. Never turned off the TV faster. Eric Flowers for the New York Giants went 9th overall. I was so mad when they drafted. It was like he went 9th overall, so it was an early pick. Turned the TV off and went to bed. It was like 9 p.m. I was so mad. Number 2, Deion Jordan, defensive end from Oregon, went 3rd overall in 2013. Miami traded up with Oakland to get that pick. That man was just unblockable at Oregon. Number 1, I have Justin Blackmon. He had the most hype I've ever seen a receiver have. He was apparently the next Calvin Johnson and played like a year or 2 years because he spent the rest of his life in jail.
Another dishonorable mention, Luke Jokuel.
Luke Jokuel was bad.
Big bust.
Yeah.
All right, I've had enough of people saying no matter what the prospect is, that he's going to be the next Calvin Johnson because
There will never.
Calvin Johnson is basically a myth at this point.
Yeah.
That's a guy you aim your life to be as a receiver.
That's not me, the one that was saying it. It was.
No, I know. I'm just saying I've had enough of it, regardless of who says it. All right?
All right.
Well, let's move on to our last segment, the segment we finish every episode with. That is our lock of the week in terms of betting. So, of course, we're doing draft episodes, so this is like locks in terms of drafts. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. A lot of people have not the majority, but a lot of people do have J.C. Horn higher on their draft board than Pat Surtain. But my lock of the week is that Pat Surtain will be the first corner taken in the draft.
My lock of the week is that Trevor Lawrence goes first overall. No, I'm joking. My lock of the week is relating to my bold prediction of the week, but a little safer. Mac Jones does not go top 3.
That's your lock?
That's my lock.
An interesting lock.
Wow.
We got to make some money. My buddy called me this afternoon, and he said Justin Fields is like plus 250 to go third, and Mac Jones is like minus 200 or something.
I'm pretty sure they updated. I saw today he was like plus 1,000. Justin Fields.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Anyways.
when Ian Rappaport tweets something like that, you got to expect that kind of reaction. But
We want to make some money here, so I think he's falling out of the first.
fair enough.
Top 3.
My lock is really easy, kind of painfully easy now. The top 3 picks will all be quarterbacks.
All right. I've been hurting lately. I'm not going to lie. Micah Parsons is the first linebacker taken in the draft. That is my lock of the week.
Very safe bet.
It is.
I think the safest bet was Cam's, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, a little too easy.
All right, if I had to change it, here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bama players going in the first round.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say my lock of the week is 4 Bama players will go in the first round.
I thought you were going to say 6 was your lock of the week.
Okay, fine, 5 if you guys want to settle.
All right. Yeah.
I'd say
There's still
I'd
a
say
very
5
big
was
possibility of Barmore, Leatherwood, like slipping out. So
All right, 4. You can have it.
no,
We'll give it
I'll
to
say
you.
5. Let's say
Pat
5.
Surtain, Waddle, and Devonta Smith are locks for like
Yeah.
the top. Like,
So go 5. Go 5.
Yeah, 5. All right.
Well,
all right. Well, that does it for episode 20 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast, our draft special. Just a reminder, go check out our Instagram, participate in our polls, and we'll be posting our full mock drafts on Thursday, the graphic on our Instagram. So go ahead and check it out there. Like, subscribe, and once again, thank you for listening. Have yourself a wonderful week.